you asked me, lead me any direction you want to go.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, that's that we're here live, kids. We are live on the Kong Family Show on the Kong Family page, and today we are so blessed. We have the awesome gentleman Fred Brown from the Las Vegas Kong's Water Store in the house to share some golden nuggets, to share a little bit of his story with us. And as everybody out there knows, we are the Kong family, and we have this really simple goal. We just want to change the world. And there's a lot of people out there who think maybe that's kind of a crazy, lofty, unattainable goal. But being part of the Kong family, we know that that is not the case, baby. We're watching it happen every single day. And as my good buddy Sean Wetzel would say, how are we changing the world? We're doing it one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kong's water, 9.5 at a time, one lightning bolt in a box, one awesome guest, one incredible person, one fun show, and one amazing family at a time. And so with that, Fred, how the heck are you doing today, buddy? You're down there in Las Vegas in the heat.
Yeah, I'm doing great, JJ. Thank you. And that's a great introduction there. I like what you said there. There's some powerful words, and should get people rolling in the right direction early in the morning. But I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. We've talked about this for a long time and trying to put it together. Like so many things in life, you just got to sit down and say, "Doggone it, let's do it," and do it and push everything else aside. But I'm glad to be here this morning and hope that I can give some nuggets of experience. I don't know about wisdom, so let's just say experience to the folks out there. And hopefully they can take it and make their life, make a better day and a better life, and go on and out and help others.
Yeah, well, we're recording this, and one of our goals here at the, one of my personal goals with this, Fred, is that what changed my world was a story. And I sat and watched my buddy Tim McGaffin post about the data and the this and the that and all the technical garb and all that stuff, and I just yeah, whatever, water's water, this is stupid, and I never said a word. I'd just give him likes and keep scrolling and that kind of thing, and I never paid any attention at all. And I was just of that mindset that water's water and this is stupid and it's got to be some sort of a scam, whatever. And then one day, the beautiful angel Brittany Dykes, she shared her personal story, and that story rocked my world. When I was done reading her story, I called Tim up, said, "Dude, next time you're up here in Salt Lake, bring me some information about this Kong's water." I started calling it Kong's water before I even knew anything about it, because I knew it was pronounced Kangen and not Kangen. And so I immediately equated it to that big gorilla running around in the jungle. And I thought he'd make a great mascot. I always say, "How do you think that gorilla got so big? He was out there in the jungle drinking Kong's water. I could just see him swinging from the vine, jumping into the big pool at the base of the waterfall, and then walking over there and sticking his mug under that waterfall to get himself some ERW." So what I'm trying to do, we are recording this. It is going to go onto the Kong Family Show YouTube channel so that it can be shared out forevermore. And we just never know whose story is going to resonate with who. I mean, there might be some handsome bald guy out there who hears your story, sees you, loves it, goes, "Hey, I gotta get to working with this guy. How do I get a hold of it?" So here later on in the show, I want to give you an opportunity to let people know how they can get a hold of you and all that kind of stuff, so that if someone meets you here today and they decide that they want to work with you, I want them to be able to get a hold of you if you want them to, so that they can work with you. And so that's what it's all about. We're trying to resonate people with other people who resonate with each other. We're trying to share information. We're trying to share stories. We're trying to share those golden nuggets and wisdom. And so to get this all started, Fred, I want to ask you the question that I ask everybody that comes on the show, because I'm always really intrigued by this, is that how, when, and why did you decide to get involved with Kangen Water? And were you a skeptic like I was?
Well, it was just, yeah, thank you. It's a short story. about 14 years ago, a little over 14 years ago, I was involved in another business, and I've been involved in the health field for a long time. But I was working with a company that's selling purifiers, so I knew all about ions and ozone and things of that nature, and a little bit of chemistry and things. So a friend of mine here in Las Vegas was one of my distributors, and he's an attorney, and he was helping a young company get started over in Los Angeles, a water company. And I think if I remember correctly, the name of the company is called Blue Planet, and they were selling alkaline water. And that's the first time I ever heard of alkaline water. So he gave me a couple of bottles. I tried it, and I got a case of it, and I liked that. And then I bought a pallet of it. I had 75 cases of it, and started selling it to people, and looked at this as a great improvement over the bottled waters and water sources that we had at the time, and thought we could grow a great business with it. Well, a good friend of mine, one of my sales managers in the other business I was in, said, I was spending quite a bit of time in Japan. He says, when you're in Japan, buy one of those Kangen machines. They're the best machines in the world, and get one of those and bring it back here, because he didn't think they were here yet. So I started Googling it, and saw that, by gosh, they did have a presence here. They'd been here for about 18 months, and they got some more information, had somebody contact me, and it wasn't anybody I really wanted to work with, so I just kind of brushed it off. But I was talking on the phone one morning with Eileen Miller, who's one of my -3s in Minnesota, and email came across my computer about a Kangen water meeting that day. And I looked at it and I said, wow, this is great. It's right here in town. It was at this karate studio, and the owner of the karate studio was one of my customers with the business I was in. I said, okay, I know where to go. I know the guy, he's reputable. If he thinks this is good and he's having his place, it must be good. One of the other guys was a marketer. He had about 25, 30,000 people in prepaid legal. I said, okay, here's a guy who knows how to the ropes of network marketing. And the other fellow was a former football player, had two Super Bowl rings from the 49ers. I said, great, what a group to be with. We got a place to have meetings. We got a guy that knows what he's doing, and we got a cameo guy that'll bring some people in. So I went over to the meeting, and it was at 11:30 in the morning, and I saw the presentation. Is the old Romy's presentation where he did the drops and traveled around the country and all, and made $91,000 in 90 days. And I said, this is great, but I said, this machine's $4,000 or $5,000. I said, we've got to have some financing. And if somebody finances me, I'm in the business. Well, Wells Fargo was doing financing at the time. So this was on a Tuesday. I put an application in. Wednesday, they said, fine, we'll give you whatever the heck you want. And I bought a machine. And I went back to the fellows and I said, here, I want to who's your sponsor? I don't have a sponsor. I don't need a sponsor. I won't be blaming anybody for my failure. I'll just credit myself for what I achieved, and I just want to get going. So they placed me under somebody that this guy had borrowed $10,000 from. And back at that time, their marketing ploy was to, give me $5,000 and I'll make you, $10,000 a month. At that time, they had a PowerPoint out there showing that at the rank of 682, you'd be making $12,000 a month and not having to do a single thing. So I thought that was great. So I said, I'll just do this I'll just do it. I got my own plans here and whatnot. Well, as it turned out, everyone in the business, that person they put me under, I thought it was a woman, but it was a guy named Kim. And never met him, never talked to him on the phone. But I think I paid the guys $10,000 back, because now we have over 45 to 50,000 people in our business. But everyone in my upline is gone. but that's not important, because you don't really need an upline in this business, because your upline's not gonna do the business for you. They'll enroll you, they'll point you in the right direction, they'll help you get started, but by gosh, you got to do it yourself. Yeah. And so very, very often we're the reason for our upline success. So this is, we are part of a team, but yet we're building our own team, and it's our own effort. So keep that in mind, that nobody's going to do it for. I have people call me and say, well, I want to change businesses. I want to be under you. You've got a good team, and my team's no good. My leaders are no good. They don't do anything for me. And I said, I've heard the same complaints about you from your downline. What are you doing for your downline? Everyone expects that it should all flow up to them. They shouldn't have to do anything. So this is a business where you can have your wildest dreams come true. You can make them real by getting involved, having a plan, and executing that plan, not waiting for somebody else. Tell people, say, hey, you can lead, follow, I don't care, but just stay the hell out of my way, because I'm going to be successful here. So what I did is right away, and you have to invest in the business. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in the business. So right away on Tuesday, they were having a meeting every Tuesday, and buying sandwiches. I think it was from, I don't know, Porta Sub or something like this. And they'd buy sandwiches and invite people over about an hour and a half or so during the lunchtime. And so I started doing that on Tuesday mornings, Tuesday noon, Tuesday and Thursday. I expanded till Thursday over on the other side of town. And that same day, I'd have a meeting at a pizza parlor here on the east side of town, out in Henderson. So things grew. My first month in the business, I had a Super Saturday, what we call a Super Saturday, and had about 140 people to it, people that I knew. And we started launching this business. My initial goal was that my Genevieve would be taking care of the other business we had, and I would be taking care of this business. Well, that other business was on a downward slide, and this was on a hell of a growth pattern. So quickly we changed our focus and put everything here. And that's the important thing. If you're chasing two rabbits, you're not going to catch either one. So you got to decide what you want to do and do that to the best of your efforts. So we did that, and I started expanding. My plan was simple. I said, I need three spokes of this thing here. I need a West Coast operation, I need a Midwest operation, and I need an East Coast operation. And you build this business linear to get your 100 sales, to get your 6A, and then you start thinking binary, because you need two legs to grow. But you can't do it with just two legs. You can't travel across the country with a car with only 4 tires. You have to have a spare, because you don't know what's going to happen. If you don't ever use that spare, you got the peace of mind that it's in your trunk in case you ever need it. So that'll affect how you drive and how you go and chances you're going to take, and get you there, on time. So I had my West Coast team that I built, and that's evolved where I've got the 2 strong leaders here. I've got Jim Gilliland up in Washington State, and I have Dan Moore. He's got a strong team in Portland. And then we have also in that same area, we have Barry and Laurie Tauscher. They're very strong. Then in the Midwest, I have Eileen Miller, who's -3. And then my spare tire, and I kid him about this, is AJ Kraus, my spare tire. AJ had, I think it was 68,000 people in his business when he left to join me in this business here. But he's my spare tire. So you always have to have that third thing. But they're all are performing equally, and that's just how I set it up. And then we expanded. We expanded to Europe. We expanded to Asia. We expanded to Hawaii. We expanded to South America. and other areas. But that was my simple plan. Not, if some of these people want to be 6A dash or 6A 12 or 14 or 18 or 30. You can't handle that many people. I'm 6A 8 dash 3, and that's too wide. I've got too many frontline people. And as part of our program, our bonus program, we're supposed to bring in 3 people a month, 3 new people a month, direct sales. Well, if you have a direct sale, your first direct sale will give you about 90% or 9% of your bonus. The next one will get 5%, and the third will get another 5%. So if you bring in 3 new people every month, that's 10% of your bonus. Well, if your bonus is running $12,000 or $15,000 a month, that could be $1,200 or $1,500. That's sizable. And you tack that on to the $1,710 or the $2,000 you're making on the machine that you're making. That's quite important. That's a sizable number. But what that does, that's not really fair to those 3 people, because you can't handle 36 new people a year. So what I did is I was able to talk to Enagic and introduce an idea to them that they incorporated, where we have an enroller and a sponsor now. And I don't know if everybody knows about that, but where I could take JJ, let's say that you're I'm trying to get you're in my line, I'm trying to get you to 6A. But I can enroll somebody that I meet, instead of enrolling them under me, taking that and not being able to work with them and spread myself thin. I can place that person under you. I can enroll that person, and I will get the special point. You will be that person's sponsor. It's placed under you, and I get the credit for bonuses and personal enrollment and everything else. So that works out well, and I think that's a great improvement that the company made, so we can help maintain our businesses and grow our businesses effectively.
Wow, that's interesting, Fred. That's something really cool to know about. I didn't know about that. I've actually enrolled quite a few people under people in my organization. I've taken people and put them underneath other people. I've actually utilized that a few times in regards to giving them an incentive to come in, because they've been thinking about it, and basically me putting somebody under them right out of the chute has helped them. I've had a few people that have been like, well, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that, and they've been thinking about it. And I kind of used the idea of putting somebody under them as a little carrot, to get them to jump off the fence and get involved. And then that way they end up getting a check real quick, and they get excited about that. But I didn't know anything about this enroller thing. I wasn't, I didn't know. I was just trying to help my people out. And then, at the same time, trying to help myself as well. But yeah, that's super interesting to know. I need to definitely learn more about that.
Yeah, that's new since June. So go to Document Download and download the new distributor application, and you'll see there in the area where you put your sponsor and whatnot. There's a couple new spots there. It'll say enroller and sponsor.
Oh,
and that's the way that works. So that's the company. And Agic's a great company. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. If they never make mistakes, that's because they're not doing enough. You have to learn from your mistakes. You have to be testing things and trying. Some don't work, and they're not failures. They're just things that didn't work. And it gives you information of what not to do and what you have to do to tweak to make that thought work. And Enagic does that. Enagic is changing constantly, and that's good for us. Some of the stuff frustrates us. Some of the stuff we don't get communication on, but it's Enagic realizes that the strength of the company is the strength of the distributor base. So they have to listen to us, and they do, and they have to make changes that are not going to jeopardize the big picture or the ultimate goal of the company, but it's going to help the individuals and help the total group. So it has to be good for all before it's good for one.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, Fred. Thank you so much to everybody that's out there on the live side. Did you guys hear that? That's some good stuff right there. You can now be the enroller and the sponsor. Any chance you might kind of delve in a little bit to what that means for somebody like, and because for me, I've put people under other people, and my sponsor Tim has told me that I should be careful about doing that I shouldn't do it too often, that kind of thing. And I've had the mindset of, hey, I'm trying to help my people, and I figure if I help enough other people, that'll end up ultimately helping me in the long run. And that's been my thought process on it. But what's the advantage to me now with this new enroller and sponsor side?
Well, let's say that I come across, you're up in Salt Lake, and I'm down here in Henderson, Nevada, and I find somebody that I come across on the internet, or I meet in an airplane, or in some place in Hawaii or Florida that's from Salt Lake. It's difficult for me to get up there and work with that person. So, and then you're taking an aggressive approach to the business. You're in my organization. You're taking an aggressive approach to the business, and my growth is based on the growth of the team. So if I can help you to grow a team, introduce you to somebody that's got to be compatible with you, that you can work with, that's willing to work, it's a good thing. It's a darn good thing. So I can help your team grow. Also, I can help, maybe you're wallowing a little bit. Maybe this person here can help you get started again. Give you something to do. Give you a task. Give you a job. Somebody to meet with a couple times a week. Somebody to go do a demo with. Someone do a presentation. Now, if that was my person that I enrolled, and I asked you to do that out of the kindness of your heart, that whole thing just turns sour after a while, because you're doing all the work, and I'm doing, I'm cashing the checks. Now, so I say, well, I'll pay you $100 a point, or I'll do this, or I'll do that, to help. But that person, your heart's not really in it. Because what if that person goes out and signs up Rummy Verdera? Okay. Or somebody else. How can I compensate you for that? You can't do that. So it could cause a little animosity there.
Right.
But if that person is underneath you, and that person drives you, and that person builds your team, which is again building my team, it's good for everybody. It's a win-win situation all the way around.
Yeah.
So it can be used
how
several
is that
ways.
different though? Because what I don't understand is because this is something I've been doing. I've probably put at least 5 people under other people in my group, and maybe more. But I've just done it. I mean, I get the points that I get. They get the points that they get. But I don't understand how, if I were the enroller now on the new form, and they're the sponsor, how does that change things for the way it actually operates now?
Well, the person is going to be in their downline.
Right.
Okay. But what happened when you place somebody under that person, you gave somebody away, so to speak, you got nothing. Maybe you got the upline commission. That was it. Right. This way here, the person that you place it under gets the commission, but you don't, but you get the special point.
What are the special points?
Okay. Well, you know how on the SD 501, we get paid $285. 50 of that is special point, and 235 is the actual commission. If you have whenever you have a sale, a direct sale, you get it all. But if you have a downline sale and you haven't had a sale in a personal sale in 90 days, you do not get the special point. If a company is financed in-house, if a company finances a person in-house, the only commission that's paid out is the special point until a month after the machine is paid for. So you, as a 6A, you would get what, $300. As a 2A, you get you'd get $100. You get that special point. The person that's going to be working with that person gets the rest of it, which is fine. Which plus you get that to count that as a direct sale.
Oh, okay. So there's the thing. Yeah, right there. Because when you give away one of your people in the past, that direct sale goes to them and not to you.
That's exactly right.
And so now with this enroller thing, if I take and give away one of my people to one of my people, I actually get the direct sale, not them.
You would, yes, right. You would get it count as a direct sale for you.
Okay. Well, yeah, I love that because I mean, you have to have the direct sales to keep things rolling, and so that's kind of where the conundrum comes in. Why Tim, I think, told me that I should be careful about doing that because that might affect my ranking up or something along the way. Like I know that I signed up one person, put them under someone else. My one of my adopted moms bought a machine, and I took and and my cousin bought a machine, and I put my cousin under my adopted mom just because I wanted to give her a little hand up, a little help. But that right there goes towards her. That's a direct sale for her, not a direct sale for me. And so now if I were to go in as the enroller, then that actually counts as a direct sale for me. And then I get that $50 special bonus, and she gets the $235 if they were to pay the machine off in full when they buy it. Is that what happens?
That's exactly right. Now, also what happens now, the company has a program going now up until September 31st, and they've weighed every product that we have with a point value. It's the SD501 has 40 points. The K8 has, I think, might have 50 points, and the Yukon might have 20 points. But what happens if you get 100 points, and these are direct sales, and these are cash sales,
right?
So if you get 100 points, you get I think you get $100. Then if you get the next 100 points, you might get $500. And then for next 150 points or something like 150 points, you might get $500. It's all spelled out. And then for every 100 points after that, you're going to get, say, $300. So it adds up. So this helps you in that respect there too.
Right. And now that works out. I mean, this is really cool. I didn't know about this. I think it's awesome because it actually, and in fact, Fred, to give everybody out there and the people that are going to be listening to this, one of the things that just blows me away about this company, and I had my last time clock punching job when I was 19 years old. Now I'm 53 years young, getting younger every day, and I've never seen a company like this that gives us so much incentive to help each other out, not only to help our teams out, but also to help everybody else out there out. Once you get to 6A2-3, you're now part of the bonus program, the worldwide bonus program. And so you're actually getting a little piece of the pie for every single machine that gets sold on the planet. So it literally gives us this incredible incentive to, not keep our little secrets to ourselves per se, to take and spread that wealth out and give people all the tips and all the tricks and all the everything, because once you hit that goal that you're reaching for, now it's to your benefit for anybody anywhere on the planet to sell a Kangen water machine. And I just think that that's absolutely incredible because, I've just never, in all the different companies I've been involved with, I've never seen anything like that. And then especially the fact that we do it with so few people. Because most people in a lot of these companies, you got to have thousands and thousands of people in your business before you even start making any kind of money. And with us, what's the thing is most 6As sponsor like an average of 8 people personally, something like that is.
Well, yeah, I think, what we say is that, when you start your business, you're looking at your first real landmark or milestone mile marker would be 6A, and you need 100 sales there. And typically, it's probably 12 to 15 sales, personal sales that you're going to have getting there, and the team is going to do the rest. I think probably the most desire, if I had somebody join my business that says I'm going to go out and sell 100 machines, I wouldn't be so excited about it. But if and I'm going to get the 6A, I'm going to sell 100 machines myself, I wouldn't be too excited about it. I'd love to have the 100 sales, yes, but the guy's not building a team. But somebody that says somebody gets the 6A by selling 3 machines, now there's a business builder.
Yeah,
he's filled both his 1A legs, and then he's got he's got his 101st machine to open up his 6A. That is a business builder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's somebody that's getting out there and helping his people. People. Yeah, I love that. This is just another awesome part of this company that gives us even more incentive now to be able to help our people out. And that's a big part of the reason why I got involved with this company. I mean, ultimately in the beginning, I just wanted the machine. I just wanted the water for my health. I had 3 other companies I was running, and I didn't need another company. I wasn't interested in the business. Tim said, "Gee, you got your machine, awesome. We got to start having meetings at your house." I'm like, no, Yeah. And but after I started drinking the water for a while, I started feeling some benefits from it, and then all of a sudden I realized I need to start learning what this water is really all about. And then once I did that, it was like, okay, I gotta shift gears. I gotta change directions. I gotta get after this because it's my duty. I really need to help people. And my driving force is my mom, who passed away 29 years ago. And I really believe that had this been around, well, it was around. I just didn't know about it. But I really believe that she'd probably still be here had I known what I know now. And, who knows? We don't know, barring catastrophic events. So I really, truly believe that she would be here. And, so it's an incredible gift. It's amazing company. And I really appreciate you sharing that stuff with us today, Fred, because I just learned something that's absolutely fantastic, because anything that I can do that's going to help me help other people, I'm all over it. I think I've sold more machines in this company for other people than I have for myself. Because when you're talking to somebody and you're passionate and you're explaining to them and you don't have anything to gain by it, I think a lot of times people take that a little more to heart than when they think, oh, you're just telling me this because you want to make some money off of me. And I'm like, hey, I don't have any money to make here. The only thing I get is the warmth in my heart that I know I helped change somebody's life for the better today. And so that's a pretty cool thing for me. And so when you started down the road of getting involved with Kangen Water, what kind of, because one thing I do know about Enagic is that we're not allowed to tell other people's stories. We're allowed to, we can tell our own story, because our own story is just simply the fact of the matter, where telling other people's story is maybe, pressing the lines of making medical claims or something like that. And before you say anything, and you don't have to say anything at all if you don't want to, it's completely up to you, whatever you feel like you can say. But I always like to give the caveat to everybody that's going to be listening to this, that Kangen Water is not magic. It's not a miracle. It's not a cure. The magic, the miracle, and the cure is right here. This thing right here. This is an amazing machine. It's an incredible miracle that God gave us. What Kangen Water is simply the main ingredient, the main tool, the main toolbox tool in the toolbox to help this machine right here do its mechanic work and fix itself. And so it's really important for people to realize that. People say to me all the time, oh, yeah, your miracle cure water. I'm like, you're not getting it. No, it's not the water that's the miracle, kids. It's this thing right here. This is the miracle. Kangen Water is just a gift that God and Mr. Oshiro gave us so we could go out and help people be able to help themselves. And so with all that said, I always love to ask my people, because the people that come on the show, I like to share stories, because it was a story that changed my life. It was a beautiful angel telling her story. That's what changed my life. And so what I'd like to ask you is, when you started drinking Kangen Water, Did you have any issues with your body that your body was able to fix because of the fact that you started drinking this water, or anything that you'd like to share with the family in that regard?
Well, I did. I was in a car accident and thrown out of a car at um, oh gosh, April 4th, 1968. As an hour west, one lamp, started at one lamp post, passed the other one, and hit the second one, and was ejected from the car, and it left me with some back injury, uh, hip injury, and everything else. So I was stiff as could be, and you just start favoring those things. It limits your movement. I used to like to run. I'd run probably 30, 35 miles a week, and just enjoy that. I couldn't do that. There's a lot of things I couldn't do. Ended up in the hospital traction a couple times because of that. When I started drinking the water, a lot of that pain went away, and it was just hydration, bringing old tissue back to life again, and that's just what happened. Plus other things, I think you probably your skin is better. Maybe any skin conditions you have go away. Helps with weight control, cramps, sleeping better. These are just all the same thing about eating a banana every day. It helps you feel better. But that's what it was. Nothing miraculous. But you notice your hair grows faster. Your fingernails are stronger. So the body's just getting the nourishment that it needs. But let's talk about the water for a bit, and why this happens, why this water is the miracle. But Kangen means return to origin. That's what it means. And what we're doing is we're trying to take the water that we have today, and that's been compromised, and return it back to where it was millions and billions of years ago. We have almost to the drop the same amount of water on the planet that we had a billion years ago. But what's happened to it? We've taken it, and it's the cycle is it's lifted by evaporation off the ocean, out of a lake, out of a river, and it goes up into a cloud, it travels somewhere, and becomes in a rainstorm or thunderstorm or snow or something like that, it precipitates back down, and then it finds its way down to a river, which leads to a lake, which leads to an ocean. Along the way, it's picking things up. Now, back a billion years ago, there wasn't a whole lot to pick up. Maybe some animal waste. I don't think the caveman was spending a whole lot of time in the river taking a shower, taking a bath. But we had things like that, and that was polluting the water. But then as we go along, we have farms, agriculture, villages, and cities build up along the river. Everything goes in the water. Everything goes into the dam, the river, the lake, and those become polluted. At one time, remember when Lake Erie was a fire hazard? One of our Great Lakes being a firehouse. That's unbelievable. But anyway, so that's what happens. So this water's polluted. And so it's polluted with contaminants, and those contaminants are affecting our body. They're disruptors. They disrupt the function that our organs are supposed to perform. So we have to clean that. So what we want to do with this Kangen water, we want to return to origin. We want to take that water and make it back the way it was. So we want to load it with the negative ions. We want to take the pollutants out of it by filtration, electrolysis, and we want to make it the clusters smaller, so they're more readily acceptable by our cells. And basically, that's what it is. Now let's I like to draw pictures here. So people saw the picture of the water being lifted off the lake or river or ocean by evaporation, traveling across the planet as a cloud and depositing someplace else, picking things up along the way. It's this coming down the river. Now what's going in that lake? We got animal waste, we got industrial waste, we got pollution from automobiles, we got pollution from airplanes flying across. We have all sorts of things that are dying and decaying in there, chemicals, the water's compromised, and that's affecting us. So we need a POU system, which is point of use. We need a point of use system to take your source water and to clean it. Take the chlorine out. We pre-filter it. We prepare it for the alkalizing and ionization process. Introduce electricity. We do that over titanium plates. Titanium is a great conductor of electricity. Platinum, so we're getting a maximum amount of electricity to the plates for what we're doing there, to the water. Then we coat those with platinum. Now, platinum is a small molecular size, so platinum can make a very smooth surface. And that smooth surface is very, very important because we have calcium, magnesium, potassium, and other minerals in the water that can be trapped. And if it's a smooth surface, there's less chance that they're going to be trapped there and build up a coating, a deposit on the plate that's going to interfere with the water meeting the plate to get the electricity it needs for the electrolysis and ionization process. That's basically what we're doing. But let's draw another word picture here. Let's say we're in a shower, okay? Now you have that shower and you put water in the shower, and there's a pump that pumps it up to the shower head, and you shower in it. So you take a shower in there on Monday. Somebody else comes in there, takes a shower in there. You come back on Tuesday. The water's a little dirty or a little cloudy, but that's okay. Pretty soon, 3 or 4 more people come in and take that shower. That water's just recirculating. And by Friday, that water is filthy. And it's not good for you anymore. And instead of cleaning your body, what you're doing is you're polluting your body. You start getting some skin problems. You may gargle with it. You may pick some other things up, some internal diseases. Well, this is what's happening to our body. As we get these chemicals and these other things into our body from this polluted water, we're compromising our health, and we're starting to morph into something else, like the 6-toed frog and the 2-headed fish and all these other things. And so that's what's happening there. So what we're doing is we're returning water to its natural base, to its origin. And that's where it's important to know what Kangen means. Kangen means in Japanese, that's return to origin, and just exactly what we're doing.
Yes, absolutely. I love that analogy. That's perfect. The whole thing of having a bathtub full of water and everybody showered in it. Yeah. That's pretty much exactly what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah. So what do we do with that bathtub full of water? Okay, it's dirty, but that's all the water we got. So what do? We put a cleaning system in there. We filter out the bad stuff. We put it back to where it used to be. We return it to origin. So then pretty soon we're taking that dirty water and treating it with our POU system, and good, clean water, healthy water is coming out of that shower head.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you and I both know, we've got the best water in the world. We've got the best system in the world. And, for all you people out there that are going to hear this and are interested in a business, maybe looking for a business, one of the things that really intrigued me about this when I started looking at going into the business side of it was that, one, we have a product that every single living being on the planet needs. And number 2, we have a product that hardly anybody on the planet has yet. And then we have a product that there is absolutely no competition for in the world. There's nobody out there that makes anything like the Kangen machine. There's people out there who say, oh yeah, we're just as good as Kong for half the price and blah, 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 blah. When you look at it apples to apples, we know that there is nothing that even comes close. And would you agree with that assessment, Brett?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think our best product that we have is the opportunity. And, people say, well, I'm not in this for the money. And I'm here to help people. I say, okay, why don't you sell I'll tell you that about 98% of the people never use 2.5 and 11.5 water. So why in the hell are you selling them a K8 or an SD501 instead of a level up car? Well, the commission is better on the K8 than the SD501. Oh, really? But you're not in this for the money. You're here to help people. So that just pops that balloon. But the opportunity, there's three healths that we have. Mr. Oshiro talks about our physical, our spiritual, and emotional, and our physical health, our financial health, and we're able to do that. But let's say if we're gonna, you want to help people. I don't want to make any money. I just want to help people. So you go out and you sell 10 people that have arthritis or diabetes, irritable bowel syndrome, whatever. And the water helps them. 10 of those people buy a machine. Now, 2 or 3 years later, 60% to 70% of those people will say, I'm cured. I'm not, and this machine, I don't want to spend $130 for a filter. I don't want to spend $50 to have it cleaned. So I'm just not going to use the machine anymore. It's not, they don't maintain it, and it just gets all plugged up and they don't use it. So then, or they just say, I don't want the machine. I spent $3,000 for this or $4,000 for this. I can sell it on Craigslist for $1,500 or $1,000, and they do that. Well, all of a sudden, their problems come back again. And then the story that they're telling is that you don't waste your money on the machine because it's only a temporary fix. And it doesn't fix anything. It's not going to cure you. It's going to get rid of the problems that are causing your condition. And they don't see that. So then you've got 6 people out of 10 out there bad-mouthing your product and killing your sales, stealing your dreams. And we see that every single day on the internet. And most of these people are uneducated. I don't mean uneducated in school, but just uneducated in just what the machine does and just how bad water is. But on the other hand, I go out and I sell 10 business builders. And I'm looking at the business. I don't give a doggone about the ORP meter. I'll put the pH drops in there. I'll use the tea bag, and I'll emulsify the oil. But I don't care about the ORP meter. I'm just talking about the product and the opportunity. And I show these people how they can improve their health. They can improve their financial health, so it helps everything else. Now, of those 10 people, 6 of them get to 6A. 6 of them sold 100 machines. Now, and the other 4 are not gonna do anything. Or let's even go 80-20. Let's go 20%. Two of them go to 6A. 8 don't. How many people have I helped? I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people, because everybody that drinks the water gets the health benefit. Yeah. Everybody that drinks the water does not get the financial benefit. They have to share it. So that's why I think if we want to help people, you're going to help more people by talking to business builders and building a business than by focusing on somebody that limps or has wants to lose weight or has a itch in the back of their head or something.
Yeah.
And I maintain that our best product is the financial opportunity.
I love that. I'm gonna have to utilize that. Gonna have to quote you on that when I send this thing out, baby. I think that's great stuff. I've been sitting here writing stuff down and I'm like, well, heck, I'm not even. I gotta make a choice. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one of the great things you've said today is going to get quoted when we send this baby out? But I like that one because, yeah, you're absolutely right. The opportunity to gain health, wealth, and spiritual. Because I know one of the things for me, Fred, is that my mindset has probably been the thing that has benefited the most from this company so far. My life has literally been changed in such a huge way right here between the ears. and as we know that most people's biggest obstacle in this world is the 6 inches between their ears. And, that 6 inches for me has been transformed drastically over the last 2.5 years. I've just learned so many things in that regard that have helped me and that'll continue to help me help others as time goes by. And so it's really exciting hearing you say that, because yeah, the opportunity that we have here for growth is so immeasurable. And so, yeah, I'm wondering something that's always been curious to me. How did putting together obviously we've got the greatest water on the planet. What made you decide to open up a Kangen water store?
Well, it's I was traveling quite a bit. I was spending probably well over $100,000 a year traveling, and I was always on the road, and I was helping build. I was building businesses, but I was building other people's businesses. I mean, they were in my group, but I saw these businesses growing around the country, and I was neglecting my people here at home, here in Las Vegas. There was just no growth here. We didn't have any leaders coming up. So I said, what I'm going to do is if I get this store here, and it's going to cost me probably about I don't know, $35,000 a year to have. I could build a store and never even put the key in the lock and save myself $75,000 or $80,000 by being here and sleep home every night. Well, what I did is I looked for a way to get people involved, and in the business, and be a part of it. And so I took a small investment from 4 different people, and we built the store. I put in a sizable investment into it, but we built the store with the idea of sharing water, sharing the opportunity, keeping people active and busy, getting them out of bed, off the couch, away from the TV, out the door, away from in front of their, they think, well, gosh, I worked 8 hours on my business today. And I was working on my magic business till 11 o'clock last night. Well, what were you doing? Well, I was on YouTube, and I was on Facebook. There's all this other stuff. And I was listening to all these people out there and reading this and looking at that. That's not doing a doggone thing for your business. That's no ink got put on a piece of paper, and nothing was ordered. So you have to, and you're getting indoctrinated. So what we did is we started the store, and with the water share, and the people came in. So we had support. We had the approval of the company, not the support of the company, but I guess we didn't have support, but it's approval of the company to do this. So we call it Kangen Water Store. And now we have, I think there's like 16 locations across the country. They're not mine. I only own one. But the people, the distributors that took part in this are assigned a day. And on that day, people that come in to purchase something, purchase books, purchase filters, or join the water club, or let's take that out of there. But supplies, that all goes in the till for the operation of the store. If a person comes in and wants to join our water share, and it's a similar program that Enagic has. A lot of people in Enagic say it's not, but it's exactly the same thing. It's actually better than theirs. If somebody wants to get water down in Torrance or Seattle or Chicago or New York or Dallas or Orlando, they buy a water bottle. That gallon water bottle costs $13.50, about $15 with tax. They're allowed to fill that up, have 2 of those, and fill her up once a day for 30 days. Then at the end of 30 days, they have to buy a new bottle. So I did the same thing. So it's $30 for an individual, $40 for a family, and they get I think 3 5-liter bags as an individual, 4 or 5 as a family, and they can fill it up as often as they want. Next month, they do the same thing. They don't get new bags, but they've got the same ones. They can't bring their own bottles in. We don't fill 5-gallon bottles. So it's the same thing. Well, what we've done, and we have meetings, we have water demonstrations. We'll do water demonstrations at the drop of a hat. You've been in the store there. You see where we're set up for all that stuff. All the supplies that we have. We have a sign out front. It's kind of subliminal. It's not, it's just kind of working on your mind. It says, if we don't have it, you don't need it. And we have everything you need in there. We have things to support your machine. We have things to support your business. We have things to help your business grow. And that's what we do. So now we have in excess of 120 people that are coming to us on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to get the water. It's not that simple. It has to be done right. And I have people from all over the country that are coming to me and saying, why is your store working? Well, my model works better than anybody else's. And it's because it's because we're here to help people. And we've taken, people have become 6A because of the store. They've grown their businesses. The goal is to have 5 people working in the store, 1 on each day, and they can bring their team members in there. Somebody comes in, they introduce them to the water, they educate them about the water. That person eventually buys a machine and joins their team. Then they build a team, and then they move off and have their own store and do the same thing. So right now we have a store in Boulder City, which is about 20 miles away. We're going 15 miles the other direction. We're putting another store in that'll be functional probably about the middle of September. And probably 3 or 4 more stores here in Las Vegas. We're looking to put stores in Salt Lake. We got stores in Portland. We got Vancouver, Washington. In the LA area, there's a couple stores going in. We got Tennessee, Kentucky, Delaware, Pennsylvania, a couple stores in Pennsylvania, New York. And so it's the same thing is happening there. Now, what we're doing is we're sharing water. But for those of you there that are sharing water, how many people can you share water with a day effectively? I don't mean to, like the Kangen guy, just drop it off and hustle off to the next stop, but to sit down and talk to the person. 5, certainly not 10. You're not going to do it. You're just going to drop it off. Now you're carrying the water around town. That's compromising the benefits of it. You're starting off at 8 o'clock in the morning and you're delivering the last water at 6 o'clock at night. You're just channeling your focus on a small segment of what your business could be. And I dare say 50% of those people are taking the water from you rather than asking for the water.
Right.
And they're making sure that they pour out what they don't drink before you get there. And you're the hunter. You're out there looking for somebody. So probably 1 or 2 people out of that will buy the machine. You have to touch people 10 to 15 times to affect a sale. Well, on the other hand, we have the store, and we have probably 35, 40, 50 people a day coming to us. We have 100, better than 120 people a month that are coming to the store. They found us. They are paying us. They are coming to get the water. They're learning about the water. And we're selling about 30 to 35 machines a month. So what we have done is we've transitioned to being the hunted. And that's very, very, very important. So we have, just think how business has changed. Mr. Oshiro is still old school. there, you sit down, you have a cup of tea, you have a glass of beer, and you talk to somebody over a table. You do a presentation on a cocktail napkin, all this kind of stuff, and that's how it's belly to belly. That transition to where we have big meetings. Then that transition to where you put signs out, you put mailers out, you run ads in the paper, you run ads on the radio, you run ads on the television. There's one time when I was leading a group that we're spending $1 million a month. I was managing a group that had 250 people, spending $1,000 a week, and I limited it to 250 to run radio ads. That was in Southern California. And we had a 300 club where people were selling 300 machines a month, where other people were happy to sell 5 or 6 a month. We're doing that. That doesn't work anymore. The internet's the big thing now with the social media. That is being, then Craigslist and all this other stuff. But you're with that net, you're scooping up a lot of crappies, to get that good fish that you want. And it's taking a lot of time, and it's expensive. So here, that's all changed. When's the last time you saw an Herbalife poster taped to a phone pole? When's the last time you saw a sign on a corner? Want income? Call here. Work from home. Make $1,000 a day. When's the last time you saw one of those? When's the last time you saw a bumper sticker? Things have changed. So we have to change with that. And we've transitioned, like I say, the important thing is we've transitioned from being the hunter to being the hunted. And you want to be the hunted. You want people looking for you. Yeah. So that's where the store works out well. There's you don't just people write me all the time and says, well, geez, I'm doing the business here and I like a store. What's the optimal size of a store? Well, the optimal size of a store is one that'll accommodate all your customers. Not 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, 500 feet, 250 feet. A table behind a chair in a barber shop or a salon. No, the optimal. So what do you want your customer base to be? What do you want to do? There is no optimal. How big's your population? We have a town of 26,000 people in Pennsylvania. Had in 4 months had over 130 members. In the first year sold 85 machines. Wow. Then they opened their second store because they did it right. There's a way to do it. Don't just go out and get a lease and throw a sign up or have the lobby of a doctor's office or the back room of a pet store, or an empty spot in a carpet store where the guy can throw a table up for you because he likes you. That's not going to work. That's going to downgrade us. And what we want to do is, you look at some of the successful marketers out there, McDonald's, Wendy's, these companies, Starbucks. So say, okay, a smart guy says, well, I go buy Starbucks every day. I'm getting tired of this. I want to get a cup of coffee and I've got to wait 25 to 30 minutes to get a cup of coffee and I'm spending $1.50 for that cup more than any place else. I'm going to go right down the street and I'm going to start a coffee shop. And my coffee is better than McDonald's, than Starbucks. Then I'm going to sell it for $1 less and there's no line. Yes, there's no line because nobody's coming in. People aren't coming there for coffee. They're coming there for Starbucks. Yeah. I dare say, people that drink Starbucks coffee, there's a good percentage of them that don't even like the taste of the damn stuff. I don't. They go there because they can talk a different language and order special this with a dip of that and a dash of something else, and they feel sophisticated and they feel special because they got a Starbucks coffee, and that's what they're doing. And so if you're going to open a water store, do it right. Open a Kangen water store. not a water store.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just going to be, selling coffee or trying to sell coffee down the street from a Starbucks,
Right.
where people are waiting for. They'll drive right past you someplace else.
That is fantastic advice. That's the beauty of what we're trying to do here on the Kangen Family Show is we want to share good information. We want to share stuff that will help people in their endeavor of, of getting healthy or of, taking advantage of the best product that we have, which is the opportunity. And I really love that analogy, buddy. That's fantastic. And I've got another question that I would love to ask you. We've been here for a little over an hour, so we probably need to wrap things up here pretty quick. But there's something that I know a lot of us out here in the family are curious about. And perhaps you may be able to shed some light on this, perhaps not. That's, whatever. I just wanted to ask the question and see where it ends up going, see what maybe you can give us or you can't give us or whatever. And that is in regards to, there's been rumors going around that we're on the verge of getting the Kangen water machine recognized by the Food and Drug Administration, or as I like to call them, the Fraud and Death Administration, of this thing actually being a medical device. Do you have any knowledge of that? I seem to remember it was something you might be working on. So I just wanted to ask you if you had any kind of information that you could share with us to give us kind of a heads up of not only whether something like that is actually close to happening and if it is or does happen down the road, whatever, what are those ramifications? Because I know I've had several people that have been, as these rumors have gone around, there's been several people who've said, man, that would be the worst thing in the world, because then it would be getting all regulated and you'd probably have to be a doctor to sell them and all this kind of stuff. And I was wondering if you might be able to shed any light for the family on that, Fred.
Yeah, let's start from the end there and work backwards. FDA approval is not a bad thing, but it's not a cure-all either. Anything that has an FDA approval, there's so many things that are FDA approved that we're not even aware. Band-Aids are FDA approved. You don't have to be a damn doctor to sell a Band-Aid. You can go to a CVS store and buy all the Band-Aids you want. An Ace bandage is FDA approved. A thermometer is FDA approved. You don't have to be a doctor to use a thermometer. So that dispels that myth here that we have to take a 4-year class and be a PhD or MD to sell the machines if we're FDA approved. FDA approval will just mean that the Food and Drug Administration has looked at it and evaluated it and seen that it has benefits. Doesn't endorse. It's not an endorsement. It's an approval. It's not if FDA. It's FDA approval, not FDA endorsed. So that doesn't mean the FDA is going to say this is what you're going to buy. They're going to say it meets some criteria that we have and does perform a function as stated and other functions, et cetera, that they may find. And, you're able to use our stamp. That adds credibility to the product. This has always been an ongoing project for Enagic. I can say that, they're working in this area. I don't know if it's imminent. I don't know if it's what the stumbling blocks are. As with anything that comes with credibility and comes with value, the process is long and tedious. And that's what's happening here. If it was just like going down to the county office and get a fictitious name and paying $20, we would have had a long time ago along with everybody else. But it's more complicated than that.
Right. It's
more complicated than going down and getting a library card or a rewards card at Costco.
Right.
So, but that it's going to happen, and it's going to come in due time. and it's gonna be beneficial to everybody.
That's another question I have for you, Fred, about in regards to this, because you've answered basically the first question that I had, which was, do you think it could be a problem, and is it being worked on? My next question would be in regards to this subject is, you just answered part of this question, because you said that one of the benefits would be that it would add credibility to the product. What other kinds of benefits do you think that having that approval might actually affect? Do you think it would affect something like where insurance companies would now start paying for it like they pay for a lot of other different kinds of medical devices? Do you think it's something that that the government health programs would pay a percentage of, or anything like that? Do you think that kind of stuff would come into play because of that approval?
I think it'd be a step closer, because I think that the NSF approval, the FDA approval, and other certifications would certainly be helpful. I think that now what's helpful in that area, much more so than the FDA approval and the NSF approval, is the work that Dr. Filzer and I've done, spearheaded with the research, showing the efficacy of the product. Everybody clamors for something like this here. Over $100,000 in research has been done to prove that Kangen water and the SD501 and the K8 are superior machines, unmatched by anything else. Of that, the company has been willing to spend $60,000. The rest of the money has come from Dr. Filzer and myself. Trying to get distributor support on this is just impossible. Oh, they all want it, but nobody wants to pay for it. They say, oh, we need this. Well, why don't you do it this? Why don't you print it in Arabic? Why don't you print it in Greek? Why don't you print it in Chinese? If I had it. So you go out and you spend a bunch of money to print it, and they want 6 books. And all the money from this project goes back to research. I'm upside down, more money than I'd like to think on it. And so is Dr. Filzer. And people keep saying, well, when's the next study coming out? Well, the truth is we stopped it all. The hell with it. Nobody appreciates it. Everybody wants it, but nobody appreciates it. We've got the books. The books are $10 a piece. That'll show the study. It's not a 400-page book. It's probably about 30 pages, but it shows that we have done work with a NIH laboratory under the auspices of NIH. It's an accredited laboratory. We have not done the work. We just meet with them, submit what we get done. They go to committee. They get this. They set up the protocol. They set up the criteria. They do the tests, and then we get the results. So it's not. We're not paying for somebody to force results. They sit before a board that decides if we should go on with it. It's kind of like the Supreme Court. Should we take the case, and then how are we going to argue it? And here's the decision. This year, the goal was leading to we would get articles published in medical journals. We are ready. We have this done. We're not going to do it. It takes about $20,000 to do that. Now, I'm sure as hell not going to spend $20,000 or any part of it to print a book or to get something in medical journal, to do all this work, take the time to do that for people that don't appreciate it. Oh, they all appreciate that I get done, but they want somebody else to do it. Nobody wants to buy the books. Nobody wants to support this. It's kind of like society today. We should take care of the poor people. We should take care of the indigent. We should take care of the unemployed. but the money should come out of your pocket, not out of mine. So that there would be, if we could take a medical journal and say, hey, here's an article. It's been peer reviewed. And it's in medical journal. Then it's also, they can go to medical library, medfax or whatever the heck it is, pubmed.org, and we're in there. Our research is in there. That would add a tremendous amount of credibility.
Absolutely.
But people don't want to spend $5 or $10.
Yeah, I know that
To support that. Well, if the church want to spend $5 or $10, I sure as hell don't want to spend 5 or 10, 20,000.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I actually heard about that book, that it was going to be coming out a long time ago, but I never saw it available to purchase. So I obviously haven't gotten it, but one thing I'd love
to get it in advance. People can get it. You can go to kangenwaterstorelv.com and get it. You can buy it. You can buy it at I think Ion Faucets has it on their website.
Well, I definitely want to get some of these books, that's for sure. And so I'm happy to know that those are available. So someone out there can get one of these books by going, or a bunch of them or whatever. They can get them for $10 a piece at Kangen Water Store, Las Vegas, or LV, Kangen Water Store, LV.
And I think we have prices there. If somebody wants to order say 100 of them, we'll sell them for like $4 a piece. And they're cheap enough to sell for $5 or $6 to their team, and then they're still cheap enough to pass out and share with doctors and things of this nature.
Yeah, I know that
we're selling a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 device, and we're going to make anywhere from $285 to $1,710. On the SD501, make up over $2,000 on the K8. We want somebody to come and help us. How do we sell doctors? Well, if you buy this book for $5 or $10, it shows some credibility.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that to make that money. And I have no time for those people.
Yeah, me either. Because that's the kind of thing that I definitely have been looking for. I know that I've got a lot of skeptics. Doctors are usually the biggest skeptics there are.
Sure.
Because they're the kind of people usually that already know everything and don't have anything left to learn, and it's really hard to get into their heads.
But see, they talk to each other. So if this book was written by Dr. Horst Filzer, is the one that compiled it. His name is on it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do the work. The work was done by the laboratory, but he put the book together. Horst graduated first in his class at Harvard as a vascular surgeon. He was instrumental in the early application of the stent. When he found out about the Kangen water, it was by accident, and he says all water is the same, and I can prove it. Well, he found out it's not the same. So he's one of the biggest proponents, and he sold more machines for people than anybody else. Everybody wants Horst's email address. They want his phone number. They want to call him. Oh, could you call this doctor for me? Could you call this person for me? And Horst will do that. But you think to buy the damn book for $10? No. So we're done. It's over.
Well, I know that you still have copies of the book that's done, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know I'm going to get a bunch of those.
We've canceled the stage 2 of the test. Actually, stage 3. We're not even going to publish stage 2. Stage 2 is remarkable results. Remarkable results. But I'm not going to spend money to publish it and give it away. If people want it, they're going to support the project, then we'll get the stuff to them.
Absolutely. I love that concept, buddy, and I'd really love to make that something that we here at the Kong family start promoting. I'd love to, because sometimes I wonder if maybe it's just a matter of people not knowing. I know that had I known there was an opportunity to invest in the program, I would have done it. I don't know how much I would have been able to put in, but I would have put something in, you know, just because I see the value of this kind of thing. And so maybe just helping share the word and letting people know that this is available. I'd love to get Dr. Filzer on the show at some point if possible, and have him maybe elaborate on that so that we can get the word out, so that we can share it out and you know, get it out there to the family so that they understand that, you know, this is something that could help us. And maybe we can raise some money somehow, figure out what it costs, how many people it's going to take, you know, because that's the kind of project that I think can really help towards our goal of changing the world. Because we're, you know, we say that every day, and people might think we're being facetious, but we're not. And every day when I see all the posts of people that are, you know, congratulate, you know, welcome this person, welcome that person. You know, yesterday there was probably 15 people that I had to say congrats to, you know, wise choice, welcome to the Khan family. And, you know, so that kind of thing, it's the very kind of thing that we're hoping to be able to promote and help with. And you know, maybe we can put that together as a project here at the Khan family and help raise some funds for that, because anything that will help us to accomplish our goal, that's what we want to do. And so we really appreciate what you're doing, and we want to help in any way that we can, and whether that is with money or whether it's with exposure or whatever, we want to do that. And we're going to encourage people to look at the concept of it, because they can take and donate money to something like this and be able to write it off as a business expense. And so, you know, that's one of the things I really appreciate you bringing that information out, Fred. That's really important stuff that I think as time goes by, we should probably be able to get that thing back on track without it having to cost you and Dr. Filzer all this money. And so I'm really appreciative of you sharing that information and letting us know, you know, what's going on. There's a bunch of people watching over on the live side that are hearing all of this information as well, and hopefully it'll spur a little bit of desire in their hearts and minds to want to get something done with it. But I've only got two more things I want to ask you, and we'll make these really quick because we've been going for quite a while. I'm sure you need to get busy, and I know I do as well. But I like to ask everybody this one question, and I'm always amazed by the different answers that I get. And it's you've got somebody that you just met somewhere, whether it be on an airplane or whether it be in a coffee shop or wherever, and you got just like one thing, you got time to tell them just like one single thing that might spur their interest and make them want to go to your website or come to your store or you know, go take a look. What would that one thing be that you would say to somebody, Fred?
Well, I think you're talking about something we refer to as an elevator speech.
Something like that, I suppose.
Yeah. So an elevator speech is, you know, you have to tell people what you're doing, and you have to do it in probably 3 seconds. And because it's between floors. And I ask people what, you know, somebody asks you, if I ask you, what do you do? What do you say? Well, so I help people drink the healthiest water on the planet. Okay. So you and about 35 million other people. I help people retire with dignity. Okay. You and 200 million other people. You know, I help people, I help people and 335 million other people, you know, are doing that. It doesn't say anything. So it just pushes people away. But if you ask me what I do, I say I help people identify, define, enhance, and maintain their 3 basic healths. I didn't mention water. I didn't mention making money. I didn't mention anything. And I didn't tell you a damn thing. But what you're going to say is, huh? What did you say? So a person goes from this to this. And then you're sitting down and talking to them. The purpose of that first conversation is to have the second conversation. The purpose of the second conversation is to have the third. And that continues on until you engineer the agreement that you want.
I love that. That's why I love to ask that question, Fred, because people that have come on here, that question always tends to spur something valuable, something that they can utilize as you know, because you know as well as I do, if you're passionate about this company and this water, you got it on your brain cell all the time. You're always talking to people about it. Like my buddy said the other day when we were golfing, he said, we ought to start doing an over under on Jay as to how many times during the round we're going to hear about Kangen water.
Yeah.
And,
Well, but see, the thing is, when you ask that, people look at you and they say, okay, what? And I say, you have that perplexed look in your face. He says, yes. What do you mean by that? Okay. I help you identify your three basic healths. What are they? First is your physical health. This is not my body. That's not your body. It's on loan to you while you're here on earth. You have to take care of it. You have to feed it properly. You have to clothe it. You have to maintain it. You have to exercise it. You have to return it in better shape or equal or better shape than it was when you took it. Same way like your parents' car the first time you're allowed to use it. You didn't let Leroy eat French fries in the back seat and spill a Coke. Nobody put their feet up on the dash. None of that stuff. Okay. The second is your spiritual and emotional health. You want to be a magnet, rather than a repellent. You want people to come to you and cry on be the shoulder to cry on, rather than you looking for a shoulder to cry on. You want to help, so you want to be someone that somebody turns to. You want to be a center of authority, a center of respect, a center of your opinion. You want your opinion valued. Your spiritual health is the same way. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about your maker. That helps you, and that helps your relationships with people. You want people to want to talk to you and seek you out rather than sneak out the back door. And the third is the financial health. We're all in a financial hole. Everybody's in a financial hole. And what they're trying to do, the tool they're trying to use to get out of the hole is a shovel. Well, you can't dig yourself out of a hole. And you're certainly not going to dig long enough to pop out the other side of the earth. That's not going to happen. Okay. So what happens? I said, put down the damn shovel, get on my ladder. Let me give you a hand up, not a hand out. A hand out is temporary. Hand up is permanent.
It's another golden nugget. Bless your heart, Fred. You are so awesome. I want to. That is such a great answer. I mean, everybody that's listening and that's going to be watching this as the days, weeks, months, and years go by on the YouTube channel, and as we continue to share things like this out, these people might be looking at you, hearing this, and going, this is just the person I want to work with. This is the kind of guy that I want to know about. This is the kind of guy I want to, go buy from. I want to go visit his water store. I want to, whatever it may be. And so now we've reached the end of the show pretty much. And what I like to always end the show with is giving the guest the opportunity to tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. Now, Fred, you already mentioned you don't use Facebook very much, and that's fine and dandy. But for people that are out there that may send a Facebook friend request or an email or something like that to Fred, sure appreciate it if you would do him the common courtesy of letting him know why in the heck you're sending him this message, why you're sending that friend request, whatever it may be. So you're not just putting yourself in there with probably the 1,000 other people that he's got on his friend list that he still hasn't approved because he doesn't know why the heck they sent him a friend request. And so if you're going to send him a message, if you're going to try to get a hold of him, please do the common courtesy of letting him know why. And with that, Fred, whatever information you would like to give out, if you'd like to let people know the address, the websites, the, emails, phone numbers, Facebook information, Instagram, whatever you'd like to give out. So anybody that sees you here and wants to get involved with you, wants to work with you, how do they get a hold of you? What kind of information you want to give?
Well, we do have a Facebook presence. I think it's Life Without Borders. That's it's Genevieve and I there, and it's kind of a business page there. I look at that twice a year, whether I need to or not. And again, I'm just so doggone busy, and I know I'm a little harsh about Facebook, about, seeing pictures, that's, it's full of pictures of kittens and new slippers and somebody climbing a waterfall or eating a huge banana split or whatnot, and I think Facebook does serve a good purpose, and it's a great tool to communicate with people and see as many people as you want. I mean, I could find that 3'9" midget or that 6 foot 14-inch giant with one blue eye and one brown eye that plays ping pong. I mean, I could find that. Facebook could find that person for you. But it brings a lot of garbage along with it. So I think that's why they have the business page. I do have a presence there. I think you could Google Fred Brown on Facebook, I think, and I'm there. But Life Without Borders is what I would respond to. Also, my email address is fred.brown41@gmail.com. I respond to that. I'm not a big texter. Because my hands are busy, my phone's not in my hand all the time. And I respond to a ring rather than holding my phone in my hand all the time and just kind of scanning through the doggone thing to see what's happening and, sending emojis back and forth.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the email address is good. fred.brown41@gmail.com. And also go to Kangen Water Store, KangenWaterStoreLV.com.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, kids. You can get a hold of the great Fred Brown. We're so appreciative of you taking your time. I know how busy you are. And so I really appreciate you coming in here, buddy, and giving us heck an hour and a half of your time. It's really gracious of you to do that for us. And quite frankly, you've dropped in this hour and a half as much gold and nuggets for people to be able to learn from and utilize than as anybody else that's been on this show in the 9 months we've been doing it. And so I'm really grateful to you, sir, for coming in and helping us out today by, just helping us with our mission, because this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to change the world. And we're going to keep doing this on a daily basis as long as we have this platform available. And I just can't tell you enough how grateful I am for all your work and everything that you're doing out there to help the family, to help us change this world, because we are going to make it happen. We are the Kong family. We're here to change the world. And we're here to do that by helping people and sharing the greatest opportunity there is on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. And I think you probably feel the same way. That's why you're doing what you're doing. And so, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I just want to say thank you once again for taking your time, for coming in here and helping us with this epic undertaking. And all the great information that you've shared with us today. And so, yeah, thank you so much once again. I hope you have an awesome day today and have a great weekend when it gets here. And I look forward to getting down to San Diego. Looks like I'm going to be coming down there here in September with Sam Tran's going to be in town. And so we're going to try and put together some sort of a gathering or something like that to be able to, share the water with people, share what's going on with people, get a chance to get together. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see you when we're down there. And so, yeah, I definitely look forward to that, and want to give you one last big thank you for coming in. And to everybody out there that's seeing this, we are the Kong family. We are changing the world. One glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box, one incredible special guest, and one fun and entertaining and illuminating show at a time. And so everybody out there, remember this, do not forget your hugs. You got to get your hugs every day, kids. Do not forget your hugs and your HooDeeHooos. The HooDeeHoooo is a verbal hug, kids, amongst its other uses out there in the world today. So get out there, kids. Change the world, starting with your own. Make it a great day. And Fred, once again, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving all this valuable time to us today. And I hope you have a very blessed day. God bless you and yours, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. You have a good day yourself. Bye-bye now.
All right, buddy. Bye for now.